Honestly, guys and girls, I can't tell you what a treat it is for me to have friends like Todd Stittelberg. This guy knows more about whitetail nutrition. Heck, he's forgotten more about whitetail nutrition than I think I'll ever learn. And I try really hard. Today, what we're going to talk about is simply diversity. And the reason is I don't know about you, Todd, but no BS. One of the questions I get by far the most, what is a whitetail's favorite food? There ain't just one. It doesn't, I mean, there is one at any one time, but there's not just one. I've found the key is diversity. Offering a diverse sampling of different, high quality, highly desirable foods throughout the entire season. Todd, please expand on your thoughts when it comes to that and why.
Well, I agree with you 100%. On either of my farms that I'm planting on, hunting on, I probably have 35 different food sources that I'm planting. You know, if it's a clover mix, there may be 4 different varieties of clover in there, plus chicory, plus rape. Of those 4 clovers, for example, one may be bred for protein. So that one's going to be the protein provider for the deer when they really need it. One may be bred for tonnage. So that's a scenario where I want to try to produce as many tons of forage on that plot as possible. One may be more palatable in the spring than in the fall, and so on. So
correct me if
I want
I'm
that
wrong.
smorgasbord.
You're taking those smattering of a half dozen different seeds, and what you're trying to do is you're trying to get them to complement each other.
Yep. I mean, that's a great way of looking at it. And in that mix, 4 clovers, chicory, and a brassica, the brassica is going to be more of a later food source, July, August, September, October, November. Chicory is going to be a little bit later. One of the things I like about the variety of chicory we use is it also provides a lot of minerals. It's a very
nice.
highly digestible mineral supplement for deer. So, and then of course, like I said, I have 35 plus species. And so what I'm trying to do there is provide forage for the deer 24/7, 365. You know, I'm just a huge believer in not just planting a spring food plot, not just planting a fall food plot, but I want to try to provide year-round nutrition.
Outside of the obvious, more nutrition, healthier deer. At the same time, deer, people, your dog at home, we're all tend to be creatures of habit.
Mm-hmm.
If day after day after day after day I'm going to this one place for food, well, guess where I'm probably going tomorrow? As long as that food stays there and that keeps giving me what I want and need, I ain't gonna leave. Most likely.
Right.
I'm gonna keep coming back again and again and again. And from a management standpoint and a hunting standpoint, that's big.
It is big. I've always told people, you know, your goal should be to have between 5 to 10% of your property in food plots. Where did I get that number? Through research. Mm-hmm. With normal deer densities, that's simply the fact that if you're running below 5%, there's probably going to come a time throughout the year when you're really running short of food on your property. And I don't want to ever give them a reason to leave my property.
Whitetails' nutritional needs change throughout the year, don't they?
Yeah.
And so just plain their nutritional needs changing makes it so you have to offer a diverse food offering if your goal is to meet all their nutritional needs.
Final thoughts brought to you by Huntworth.
So really what it all comes down to is there is not that the whitetail's nutritional needs change throughout the course of the year. The habitat is changing dramatically throughout the course of the year. There is not that one food source. But if you can offer diversity, now you stand a really good chance of being able to hit those nutritional needs during those seasons.
There's no doubt. I mean, you could take it a step further. I've seen times in the fall when deer just crave maple leaves.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know, there's times in the fall when they crave apples.
Yep.
You know, and so, you know, that can be a diverse segment also. I mean, I always tell people, you know, if they're saying, what else can I do on my land? Plant an apple tree. plant several apple trees. It's a pretty minimal investment.
Do some habitat work in your woods. Kick up that woody browse. That's, and I don't mean to swear here since we're talking food plots, but I'll tell you what, we'll both agree up and down, right and left, that food plots are hugely, hugely helpful. So is dealing with your timber.
Well, absolutely. And you know, I've had people ask me over the years, well, you know, what would be best, a 5-acre food plot in the middle of my property or 5 1-acre food plots throughout? I would rather have 5 1-acre plots throughout because of the social stress. If we could have all of the deer coming to this 5-acre plot every night, you know, you're going to have bucks fighting, you're going to have doe families fighting and so on. Try to spread them out.
And that in there hits a major key that I'll wrap up on here, and that is identify your goals before you go ahead and implement a plan. Our goal is to raise the healthiest deer we possibly can, reduce social stress, all that type of stuff. We really enjoy that. Other people, they're looking for 2 weekends a year to hunt. If you're going out there to hunt for 2 weekends a year, that one food plot may be the way to go.
Right.
But if your goal is to produce the healthiest deer you possibly can, yeah, I'll go with 5 every time.
Well, exactly. And even if, let's say you don't have the ability to plant 5 1-acre food plots because there's marketable trees there, or it's not your land, you're leasing it and the landowner won't let you bring a dozer in and push a food plot. Well, why don't you plant 6 apple trees on this spot? 12 over here, another 6 over here, and those kind of can be food sources too.
Oh, yeah, and even on the apple, if you're in areas where you can, don't just plant apples. Apples, great, but go ahead and throw some persimmons in there. Throw some Dunstan chestnuts. Throw some white oaks if you don't have many oak producers on your ground. Diversity, diversity, diversity. Thanks, Todd. This is awesome as it always is.